Welcome back, Sacred Garden. This is our shadow work episode. So we're going to get real close and personal. Before we get started, I'm going to give you a Bible verse. If you're new here to the Sacred Garden, this is our journey to ourself. And our soul is in representation of our soul. And the shadow work is us cultivating our soul and removing those traumas and things that we've already experienced. And we're going to be working on healing those. Thanks for watching. Psalms 34 and 18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. And our affirmation I can face my shadow because God walks with me through the dark and the light. And my rebirth is my journey. Okay, let's get into the shadow work. But let's understand what shadow work is because you may hear people talk negatively about shadow work. And I think that's because when you are doing shadow work, you will remember things that were hurtful and that makes it seem negative. But we have to prepare ourselves before we do it so that we can remember that we actually have already survived. We are already past what has been done. And the shadow work, once we get through it, that is to heal that, to calm that, to understand it, and to take the power that it has back. Because if it has you fearful and it has you unwilling to observe a situation that you've already won, then it still has a hold on you. So, shadow work is the process of uncovering the parts of you that were silenced, that were shamed, that were abused, that hold trauma, that hold neglect, and it holds all kinds of negative things that have already happened. And we don't realize that those unhealed traumas are still lingering in our body. They're still causing stagnation in our life. It's still having access to our mind, how we think, how we move. And so now that we are in a safe place, we can deal with it. Remember, we can't heal what we continue to try to hide or bury or avoid. Shadow work is where you stop running, hiding, and you start returning to yourself. The reason why we get into the shadow work is so that we can reveal the truth. We can break those cycles. We can expose those patterns. We can restore by identifying. And we can strengthen our discernment so that it doesn't happen again. Your shadow is not your enemy. Your unhealed wounds, trauma, and bondage is. Now, keep this in mind when we start this shadow work process. Awareness opens the door, acceptance softens the heart, accountability shifts the behavior, and alchemy transforms the identity. It no longer will have that hold on you. Now, the first thing is mindset, okay? You have to understand this has already happened. At this time, you want to position your mind as an observer. We don't want to react. We don't want to act. We want to understand. You are not reliving the situation. You are simply reviewing it. You are safe. You are the observer. Your job is not to correct. Your job at this moment is to strictly understand. Shadow work is not punishment, it is permission. Permission to shape what you've already survived and choose to no longer let it have control over you. and to understand what transpired throughout that process. Nothing you discover about this disqualifies you in any way. This is your moment to heal within so that you can evolve. What to expect: emotional waves, memories, it might be in glitches, understanding. You may feel uncomfortable. It may bring up painful memories. It may bring up triggers that you didn't realize. It might make you understand how it affects you today. But remember, this has already happened. You are only the observer. You will not react. And if you have to pause, then do that. Allow yourself to freely release, to freely experience without reacting, and to remember to release it and do not take it past this moment. That has already passed. You are only observing. This is to strengthen you, not to destroy you. Now, set your space up so that you can lighten the atmosphere, cleanse any negativity, and encounter God in this experience with you. Remember to always pray and ask God to help you understand. This is the setup, but the connection and the encounter is a personal one that you are going to develop with God. You may need some tissue, a candle, an incense, a pillow, a blanket. What do you need to be comfortable, to have an intentional moment with God, to understand? Play your worship music. Set the atmosphere with intentions. The intentions to be seen without sinking, observe without judgment, compassion, love, and protection. Overcoming difficult things shows resilience. It's power behind that. It's strength. No one asks to go through the darkness, but you made it out. And you don't need to carry the weight of it for the rest of your life. Doing the shadow work relieves all of that. You understand the patterns, not the problems. You are not broken. You are becoming aware. This is revisiting without reliving. You can revisit hard times, hard moments. That does not give them permission to invade and take over and keep you in a stagnant position. You can breathe through any uncomfortable emotions. Identify each emotion that you experience. That's why having a journal is going to be important. There are going to be waves that come back once you've continued to go through this process with yourself. When you have those waves and they come up, you're literally filtering them out of your nervous system. You are filtering them out. You are intentionally correcting them by your understanding and by knowing that when you see things, you have now you have experience. You can identify it quickly. You can protect yourself more efficiently. Your discernment will go before you because now you're not confused, uncertain, or unhealed. That is your power that you're taking back. Now, I just described a few spiritual techniques, but now let's identify them so that we can have verbiage and definition and we can use them for other things outside of this moment. Okay, mirror work. That's a spiritual practice. That's when you get a mirror and you face the mirror and you speak your truth. You speak your truth to your soul because you're worried about healing you from the inside out, to build trust within yourself. Because if you can lie to yourself, you can't trust yourself. Start speaking the truth to yourself and stand on it. A mirror is a soft reflection, and you write down whatever wave of emotions come as you're speaking your truth. Look into your own eyes and ask, what part of me is still hurting? What part of me do I continue to hide? What part of me is holding me back? What part of me do I need to heal right now? How can I implement behaviors and action that's going to help me hold myself accountable and be the best version for myself? Another spiritual practice is breath work, and people overlook it. But breath work is important because it helps your blood. It helps circulate, it helps you get oxygen, and it helps break up toxic within you. So, breath work, and you can do that sitting down, standing up. You can inhale positive affirmations in 4 counts. In each breath, inhale something positive about yourself. This is personal. This is you and you. Exhale any negativity that has been projected onto you or that you still need to work on. Let it go. Repeat that process. Repeat that process 4 to 7 times and journal how you feel afterwards. I know you're going to feel relieved because you've been holding it and didn't know because you were going to get back to it. The last one for this episode is going to be guided memory. And we did that just a moment ago when we observed a situation and a trauma or something that happened and we didn't have clarity on it. We didn't react. We didn't correct. We observed. We are revisiting without reliving. Journal out something that continues to hurt you. Journal out who, what, and recall that moment. Describe it like you're watching a movie. That is how you observe and identify without reacting, because the only person in this world that you can control is yourself. And if you are impulsive and you continue to react, you don't have control. Now, that wasn't so bad. We made it through one session of shadow work. And how did we do? Leave it in the comment. I hope you continue to join me. And I look forward to growing with you. Have a wonderful day.